Hi everyone, Grammy Tammy from the Feltwood Lady. So today is a very important story. It's not going to be funny like all my other stories. It's going to be serious, but it needs to be told. It's called The First Thanksgiving. In 1620, there were people in England that were not happy. The king wanted them to pray in his way, and they wanted to find their own way to pray. So they wanted to pray in their own way. So these people, who are known as the Pilgrims, got on a ship, a wood ship, sailboat, big sailboat for the time, not today, and they decided to go to the New World, to America. In those days, it was called the New World. There were over 100 pilgrims on this ship. That included the sailors. It was not an easy trip. There wasn't a lot of food. There were over 100, as I said, so it was very crowded. There weren't even separate bedrooms or anything. It was not an easy trip, and they didn't have a lot of food. Some days were sunny. Some days were very, very rainy, and the boat would go like this. Not an easy trip. Finally, after 66 days, the Pilgrims came to the New World. They thought they were going to land in Virginia, but instead they landed in what is now known as Cape Cod, Massachusetts. So I'm going to put up something to show the land. It was the beach part of Cape Cod. It was sandy. This is the land. One of the sailors went up on top of the sails, which there would be a place for him to stand. Land ho! Oh, the Pilgrims were so happy that they could finally get off the boat. Now, and of course, you know, the sailboat goes by the winds. Let's get the Pilgrims out. There's a daddy and a mommy, and a little boy and a little girl. Only showed one family, but again, there were many families. Yeah. So, oh, I forgot to tell you, what is this? Is this a river or a lake or a pond? No, you can tell by the big waves. It's an ocean, and the name of this ocean is the Atlantic Ocean. That's why it was not an easy journey, because it's a big ocean. Now we're going to take away, actually, we're going to take away the ocean, because we're going to go on the land. So the Pilgrims named this place they landed Plymouth, because they had come from Plymouth, England. There was also a rock there that they called Plymouth Rock. It's still there today. Now, this, of course, is the sky. They always say to children, did they see a lot of people when they got off that ship? Did they see stores? Did they see houses? Did they see anything? But no, they only saw land with lots of trees. Now I'm going to show you the land. Also, I have to set the background. I can't just turn the page because this is not a book. So I have to set the background. This is what they saw when they walked off the beach. Lots of land. And because it was in November up in Massachusetts, what we now call that state, very pretty state, there were lots of trees. I'm going to move it over as best as I can. Now, close your eyes and imagine thousands of trees. Open your eyes. Don't forget to open your eyes now. So we've imagined thousands of trees, and we're going to use this one tree to stand for all the many, many trees. Look at that tree. Does it look like a spring tree or a summer tree or a fall tree? No, it's a winter tree. You can tell there's a little bit ice and snow. Okay, now let's get the Pilgrims out. Many of the Pilgrim women stayed on the ship those first few months because it was so cold, especially during the winter. Many got sick. But all the dads got together and built one house. That house was known as the Common House. Eventually, they built, I think, 6 or 7 more houses that first year. The weather was so cold. Now, I'm going to show you something. It looks big for the felt board, but it was not a big house. But this was able to hold many families. It's called the Common House. It's made from wood and water plants for the roof. It was a thatched roof made from actually reeds. And they cut down trees to make their first house, the Common House. Let's see what it looks like. Did I get it okay? Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, now. It was cold. A lot of people got sick. And they did not make it through the winter. There were only 50 pilgrims left after the winter. One day, someone came to visit them, and it was in the springtime. So how can I show the spring? I know, I'll use my tree. We're going to make a nice full green tree. Now the pilgrims, many of them were starving, I think all of them, because they did not know how to hunt, they did not know how to plant, and they did not know really what was the best way to do anything to make food, to find food. They were not good at this at all. Okay, we have a nice full green tree. In the spring, now we can see it's spring, a special visitor came. His name was Squanto. He was a Native American. This was his land. The Wampanoag tribe, there were many tribes, but the Wampanoag tribe lived right near where the Pilgrims wanted to settle. They'd been watching the Pilgrims all winter. In the spring, they came and Squanto said, I know you are starving. I will teach you how to plant corn and other vegetables and fruits. And that changed everything. They were so grateful to Squanto and the Wampanoag tribe. They were wonderful people to the Pilgrims. So they learned how to plant, fish, hunt, and live in the New World because of the Native Americans who are now known as the American Indians. In the fall, oh, I have to change the tree. So we need some pretty fall colors for the trees, just the way they are now. The trees are beautiful outside. The Pilgrims said, we must thank God and thank the American Indians, the Native Americans, who helped us so much. They taught us so much. So they invited over 90 American Indians for 3 days of feasting and prayers and dancing and song. It was a good time. What did they eat? Well, there were most of the Native Americans sat on the floor, as did the Pilgrims, but they had corn, Indian corn, turkey, all kinds of nuts like chestnuts, cornbread, fish, green beans, porridge, which they made from cornmeal, just like they made the cornbread. It all came from corn, grapes, and what do we have here? Oh, yummy, cranberries. There was no sugar, so nothing was that sweet. Not like what we eat. The American Indian ate much better than we did, much healthier. Okay, now. What we have to say is thank you. Thank you to the Native Americans, the American Indians. They were the heroes in this story. Happy Thanksgiving!